So guys, we are back
Hey
again. I know you guys didn't miss us. If you did, we're back. We are interviewing another father, another special guest. We've had a lot of special guests this month, and there goes more. How you feeling today? How you doing?
I'm fabulous and wonderful. How about you?
I'm fabulous too. Wonderful, beautiful out here. This lighting isn't too good, but you know we still beautiful.
I think my lighting's great.
Oh, well, that's your opinion. Oh, you know what? And I bring the shine, so there you go. Boop, boop, boop. All right, it is time for our special guest, guys. Drum roll. So, Uncle MC Spice, the legend.
Why, yes.
How many children? All right, so, Uncle MC Spice, the legend. How many children do you have?
I have one child and 5 grown people.
Okay.
And the grown people, we ain't even talking about them on this though. They're just not, blah, they're not even in this. Let them stay grown. Whatever you do though, don't get grown. Stay a child in your mother's eyes and follow the Bible. My 5 groans, they don't follow the Bible. Y'all know who you are.
Right. So today's special guest is, introduce yourself.
Who are you?
MC Spice at your service. Don't get nervous. But they know now my name has been elevated. I am now MC Spice, the legend.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Thanks to my man, Don Hazel. Don Hazel, what's up, baby boy? He called me the legend. I'm going to be the legend.
Period.
All right?
All right. Thank you for being part of Life 101 Journey. We thank you for your time. So the first question I'm going to ask is, at what age did you become a father?
At 50.
Okay.
Age 50. I waited until 50 to become a father. To really become a father. Age 50.
How many children do you have?
One, her name is Ayah.
What was your relationship like with your father?
Well, my relationship with my father kind of just started around the time that I met my wife. And he even told her that, like, that bobblehead. You know, if it wasn't for you, he probably wouldn't be speaking to me. He's right. But, you know, at one point I started to look at the whole world around me and things started to make more sense. And I said, you know what, I can't just escape this relationship with him. Plus I wanted our daughter Ayah to have a relationship with him. So, you know, I started talking to him around 51, 52. Well, maybe, no, about 50, yeah, around the same. No, sorry. It was a little after we got married. Maybe 2 years after we got married, before we had Ayah. So, but coming up as a child, Pops, I hope you're watching this. You know doggone well, me and you didn't know each other. Sorry. But he wasn't in my life, but I'll tell you what I didn't do. No one knew that until right now on this video. I never let people know that. I don't think that mattered to the world because it's just so many differentials. Once you're an adult, you're an adult. And you make that decision whether or not you're going to be in that person's life. And, you know, me as an adult, I made a decision that after a while, it was my fault that I'm not in his life. It's not about, you've been in my life every 20 years of your life. You're arguing and complaining. So, yeah. But we, you know, other than that, we had a,
Meet you, man. Take care.
All right.
Thanks again.
Yeah, all right.
How did you feel when you found out about Ayah? When you were pregnant with Ayah? Because you were both pregnant.
Well, I was first amazed and astonished because it was a dream of mine. It was a hope to be married. To follow the actual nature of things. To be married first. So we lost children before that, but we were married 3 years before Ayah was born, so it was even better. But I was delighted because it was me, Cash, a real love, a real relationship, sharing a love where, boom, this one person comes out and she's a part of both of us. The child is not made out of chaos. So you know when a child is not made out of chaos, there's not going to be any chaos in the child. Unlike the idiot kid in the back. So, but it was like, it's like heaven to me. And living every single day with Ayah is like heaven. Whatever Ayah asks for, I will go to the store, tear that store down and find it and buy it. It's basically, you can't say no to her because her life basically gave us life and gave our love way more life. So, you know, every single day feels like that same day all over again. If I look into her eyes, it looks like that same day all over again. It feels like the same day.
I would like, if it's okay with you, to ask about why was it important to share your loss with people so publicly? Your previous loss before I.
Oh, I thought you meant loss with. Okay, you mean loss of children?
Yes.
Well, you know,
because it was very public.
It was very public, and you know,
and I think it was healing for some people, but I think some people didn't know how to embrace it.
Right, because when there's an unknown, I think when it comes to doctors, there's an unknown. And I think with the unknown, certain people, individuals are going to keep that to themselves. And that's understandable. But the thing is, I think that if we put all the unknowns on the table, all of us can sooner or later come together and say, you know, hey, I had that same issue. With us, the fact that we suffered that 3-4 times, it has to be put out so that someone can sooner or later say, here's what a lot of people are dealing with, and here's how we can cope with it. At this point, we've gotten to the point where we figured if we're pregnant again, that perhaps we'll be strong enough to know that if this happens again, we know how to deal with it, as opposed to taking it as a major heartbreak. Because God is involved, and you know, if the child lives 1 day, 1 minute, or 100 years, it's up to Him. You know, the fact that the person is born, the fact that the person came into this world, whether it's you know, 1 day, like I said, or 100 years, that alone is life, and that's something that God gave you. So that's why I made it public. But of course, I didn't make it public first. My wife and I decided to make it public, unlike the asshole kids in the back.
What advice would you give to other fathers or upcoming fathers?
Whoa. Well, if you already know she's pregnant, I'm kind of all out of advice, bro. Because I'm letting you know right now, she's going to get food stamps, housing, she's going to get all kind of stuff, and you're not going to get anything. You're going to go to the judge every 6 months, and they're going to say, how come you didn't find a job? Bro, it's not what you think. It's going to be 18 years of tears with your peers. And within those 18 years, you're going to do about 6 to 8 months in jail for not paying child support. Not seeing your child is no excuse for not paying child support. You don't pay to see your child. Just so you'll know that. Secondly, and most importantly, if she isn't pregnant already, don't even think it. Yo, bro, I'm telling you right now, bro, don't do it. If you're serious, date her 6 months, take it to your pastor. If you don't have a pastor, let it go, bro. Find a pastor, date her 6 months, and get married right away. Don't put no rock on somebody's finger to show off for your boys and your friends. None of those people are gonna care, all right? Marry her right away if you're serious. Don't move into her house. Do not move into her apartment. Do not move into her mother's house. Do not move upstairs or downstairs. If they kick you out and the police show up, they're gonna say, is your name on the lease? And if your name's not on the lease, bro, you're homeless. So if you want the real answers, that's not a fairy tale. This is real life here. You gotta take care of your wife. You gotta take care of your child. I don't believe in 1 million children if you don't got 1 million children money. So that's what I say. If she's already pregnant, you're already losing. You're not even at a 50-50, son. You're at a 85. Trust me, you're in trouble right now. And as soon as they start getting what they can get, because they got a child, it's over. And you're not even gonna be able to write that child off on your taxes. You know why? Because you weren't married to her. You got to fight for that too. And you got to pay child support until they're 24 if they go to college. Bro, don't do it. If she's pregnant, you're in a lot of trouble. If she's not, she's in a lot of trouble if she gets pregnant by you. Don't do it, bro. Get it all together. Get your house together first. Get everything together first. Get married first. Have a pastor to go to talk to first. If you don't got a pastor, don't elope. Period. Don't elope. Go to a pastor. Leave it alone. That's my advice. Don't be stupid.
Thank you.
I would like for you to tell us about Ayah's name. Where did it come from, and why did you choose it, and what does it mean?
I chose the name because, you know, I figured the name is such a powerful name. It exudes. I'm lying because my wife chose the name. So the way it worked was this. She says if we have a boy, we'll name him whatever you name him. I wanted to have a boy so I can name him Shakir. He's coming though. I think he's coming tonight. So I was gonna name him Shakir. She goes, any girls we have, I'll name her. So Cash came up with the name Ayah, which means sign and proof of God's existence. She gave her a name, and this baby lived. Imagine that. Ayah doesn't have a middle name, and I'll tell the story. So Cash had a dream one night. She was going to name her Ayah Alma Shakir. Alma was a Cherokee middle name, Indian, whatever, Native American. Ayah, sign and proof of God's existence. Shakir, thankful to God. She had a dream, this weird dream about Louis Farrakhan. He was at some big event, and some guy in a wheelchair was speaking too long, and he kicked the guy out of the way. We know he's not that kind of guy, but Cash was like, oh, why you do that? And she goes, you know, some guy asked why you do that or something. Then he was saying, now, what did you say about the name? And she said, oh, I want to name him Ayah Alma Shakir. He goes, well, if Ayah means sign and proof of God's existence, then why do you need a middle name?
Right.
And that's how we stuck with the name with no middle name. So Ayah is Ayah Shakir, and all things between is all Ayah. So the name came from my wife. She came up with the name.
Why is it important for you to be such a strong figure in the community, and how do you stay humble?
It's important because in some cases, in a lot of instances, growing up, going into adulthood, becoming a man, the strength that people saw was the strength that God gave me. It's so much strength in saying, oh, I don't smoke weed, bro. It's so much strength in saying, oh, I didn't drink my first beer until I was 37 years old. All right? So, oh, no, I don't drink that. I don't go to no clubs and get drunk. I don't do all that. There's strength in that. But there was so many times a weakness. Like, I suffer from bipolar. Well, I don't suffer from it. I have it. I don't suffer from it because I don't self-medicate. I don't do a lot of other stuff like that. But in those years coming up, I learned some people hustle people, right? I hustled the spirit. My thing was, let me get around guys who are trying to do something positive, even if they're my age, even if they're a few years younger, a few years older. And I would find myself around the people like the Larry Woos and the Maurice Stars and the Cornell Browns. I would get around those guys, and they could just give me 2 or 3 little pieces of gems. I would take that gem and run with it. So the truth is, it was a lot of pain suffered during the time I was learning to be a man and taking what worked and keeping it so I could teach the other ones. Once somebody taught me each one teach one, I took that and ran with it. I realized nothing I learned is for me. Everything I do is for everybody else. If I can't benefit the rest of the people, then who am I bringing with me when we go to war? And that's the way I looked at it. So I had to put myself in positions and in places that they didn't think I was going to be or belong. I went to spots where they're like calling the police, yo, you tell that dude Spice if he come around here to do a cookout, we're going to do this, do that. And I call the police, well, you better show up because they're going to die, not me. But in either case, no, the truth is the strength comes from the strength comes from pulling the strength from so many other people in front of me. Again, I mentioned Larry Wu, Gordon Worthy, just the strength that they have. Whatever weakness you see, it's not, I don't use that against anybody. Pastor Dickerson, definitely. Louis Farrakhan, Don Muhammad, Randy Muhammad. We both came up together. Edzo, his brother, my boy Rick. All the strengths that those guys have, I pull from those. All the things that they say, whether they say it in a joke, I take from it and I use it to my advantage. A friend of mine named Walt in Virginia, he was my road dog, man, older than me. And one day we were on the highway. I was bananas in Virginia. And we were on the highway, man. That's when those Red Bulls or some kind of power drink first came out. It was in bottles. I used to have those right behind my seat in the cooler, just going to town on those doggone energy drinks and caffeine. Throw it out the window on the highway. Walt said, yo, man. I said, man, ain't nobody seen that. Walt said, what if some guy was driving late from work and he picked his child up from his mother's house and the child is sleeping in the back seat and he hit that bottle and it bust the tire and him and the kid got in an accident. And I'm like, man, ain't nobody thinking that far. He said, you need to start thinking that far, Spice. Think about consequences. I thought Walt was one three-headed, stupid idiot. I was like, man, you're old. It took me 5 years, and I started thinking like Walt, like, whoa, wait a minute. So yeah, I pulled from their strengths. I learned from their weaknesses. If they said, don't do this, don't do that, I'm gonna go back to that whole pregnant girl thing. If they said Walt said, you got another, you and your wife are pregnant? Well, at least that's your wife. Because Spice, I'll be telling you, man, you got your life ahead of you. Why are you doing this? So he knew that I walked into a real life this time. And a real wife. And a real life. And this has nothing to do with strength, but I also get my strength from her too. And I get my weakness from her freakness.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for that. I'm glad Auntie Cash makes you a better person.
Oh, yes. Yeah, she does. Because I've never told anybody about this, but this is the first time I'm saying it to the world. So I went to the doctor. 3 doctors, they always say go get a second opinion. I got a third one. And the doctor finally told me, you're right, Spice. Her thickness is your sickness. Come on, somebody.
Why was it important for you to openly discuss your mental health situation, and what advice do you give to other people who are not as open about going to get services?
Some of it is mental health, and some of it is medical. Bipolar is medical. It's a condition of the brain. You're born with it, there's nothing you can do about it. Some mental illnesses can be helped with moderate medication, and then sometimes you can get weaned off the medication, and sometimes you can go through therapy to kind of like, some people need what they call a forensic psychologist, and psychiatrists or psychologists who can rework your brain back to its original functioning matter or mode. With bipolar, there's nothing you can do about it. It's basically it's not a disease, but bipolar is a medical condition. It's treatable, but it's no cure for it as of yet. The reason why I'm open about it is because what I'm seeing, what most people see as real, I see as our people or our society turning their backs on a totally different reality. For instance, people who go in and out of jail, in and out of prison, in and out of drug clinics, things of that nature, I don't believe that they're doing this based on them being criminals, them being drug heads, them being whatever you want to call them. I think that these are people who are not grasping a hold of the fact that they do have a mental condition or a medical condition of the brain. That a lot of us don't want to get help. A lot of us don't want to say something's wrong, is because if we do that, now we're admitting to a whole nother problem. You know what that problem is? The first problem is this. It's already a strike. We don't want to admit to another strike. And plus, this doesn't matter how big or small the mental issue is, we call it crazy. Oh man, get out of here. I have friends who said, man, get out of here. You're not crazy. Bipolar is not crazy. There are people who are bipolar who are doctors, lawyers, accountants, the whole 9 yards. So bipolar is not an issue, and bipolar is not crazy. The problem is that we need to be in tune with who we are, and I think that if more of us come forward to say, hey, this is what we have, this is what I have going on, other people could probably say, well, maybe I have it. And then maybe there won't be so many people going in and out of jail and in and out of drug treatment centers. Because the truth is, again, maybe Big Joe or Big whatever is not so real, so street, so thug. Maybe he got a problem. Maybe the best thing for him is, let me go someplace where I know I'm going to get 3 meals and a place to stay, because when I get out, how am I going to get that? How am I going to get that jumping off? By the time half of these guys out here who are going in and out of jail, by the time they're 55 or 60, where are they going to go anyway? They're going to go right on the streets, panhandling, and you're going to say, look, there goes that guy that used to be a thug. So the truth is, I'm doing it because I'm hoping that others will do it. Remember, everything I do is not just for me. I'm saying, hey man, I have bipolar, but bipolar doesn't have me.
Period.
And if you're self-medicating, you're drunk all the time, if you're high all the time, something's wrong. And 9 times out of 10, it's something you're hiding. And it's a mental illness that you're hiding. But, if it's you, brother, if it's you, I would not be afraid, because guess what? Don't worry about it. Your girlfriend is probably crazy too.
Well, thank you, Uncle Spice, for all your influential and words of wisdom. We truly appreciate you on our channel, and we hope to have you back soon.
All right. Now, do you say that to other people, or you really bring them back?
It depends.
Who
We
came
don't
back?
say that to other people.
I'm joking.
We
no.
haven't said
We
that
haven't
to
said that.
anybody
This
yet.
is new.
I
Okay.
think I want to say this to
And
Spike.
with that
Oh,
being
go
said,
ahead.
I have an album coming out, and I'd
Yes.
like to come back after the album. So
Okay.
as we
Sounds
are-
like a plan.
Yeah. Are we still now? Is this going to be about fathers? That's
You
what do?
kind of had multi things, so we could cut
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, because we're gonna do the album. We're gonna do whatever. Hey, whenever you guys want to have me, I'd be glad to be back.
Well,
I
we appreciate you.
You guys coming so far. I mean, you drove dang 4 hours to be here. For
I
this.
know, 4 hours. Oh man,
Yeah,
my feet are hurting from hitting
But
the gas.
No one ever did an interview and brought me clams with the bellies.
Okay, well,
From
you got-
Simcoe's.
Yes, yes.
All right. Well, thank you.
They
and
only take cash.
We appreciate you.
I know.
I just want to say thank you, Spice, for being a real man. I thank you for all the greatness that we've shared, even the funny stuff and the yelling at each other, challenging each other in the best way. But I know that there's always love, respect, and I appreciate everything you do for me. And I'm so glad to be part of your family in many ways.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for you in my life. I'm thankful that you're a real man that's stepping up, helping other people just in general. And I appreciate you, truly.
And we appreciate you, and we thank you for being Ayah's aunt now. and Ray is Ayah's cousin. So that's your baby cousin.
Yes, my baby cousin.
Yes. And so the best thing about family is to increase the family. I'm going to take a rock. I'm going to throw it in the water. What happens when you throw a rock in the water? Ripples. Anything outside of that ripple doesn't belong. Only the ripple, and the rock is the force. So everything around that, that's what you do. Increase your ripple, but don't go outside of it. So as soon as you get in Ray, this for you. You meet the person you think is the one. Think to yourself, is he a part of the ripple? If he ain't, don't bring him in. Because sometimes it ain't a part of the ripple at all. Sometimes it's a turtle spit.
Turtles.
You ever seen a turtle spit? It looks like a ripple. Turtle spit don't mean shit. Oh, I forgot, y'all don't curse.
We don't
And on that note, like, comment, subscribe. You know the vibe. He's a real black father.
Start again.
You gotta say it.
One, slide, 1, 2, 3,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4,
2, 3, 4.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3,
4.
4. 1, flip. 2, 3.
Oh, 4. Ah!
Hey!